It's been a while since we looked at a 15-inch gaming laptop, but today we're happy to review the new and improved Alienware M15 R7, which features Intel's latest 12th gen processors. This laptop has 64 gigs of 4800 MHz DDR5 RAM, a 3070 Ti with a 140 watt TDP, and also a 360 Hz 1080p monitor. And the brains of this laptop is powered by a Intel i7-12700H processor. Let's take a closer look at what the M15 R7 has to offer before you get too excited by its outstanding specs and then click to buy. The M15 R7 follows Alienware's established design language and does not bring any major new updates. It features hexagonal grills, rear-mounted RGB LEDs, and futuristic albums. The body of our Dark Side of the Moon model is very dark but not quite black. The chassis supports a high durability clear coat. The texture is extremely attractive and it should help with stains, scratches, and dings. The keyboard is RGB backlit, but the back of the chassis, which mimics a UFO propulsion system, is the centerpiece of the show. The M15 is somewhat portable, measuring at 0.94 by 14 by 10.7 inches and weighing around 6 pounds. Now, if you like the feel of a solid laptop, then you'll love it, and its thick bottom lip. Though, if you dislike lugging around a 6-pound brick with you, then you might hate it. It's all a matter of personal preference and taste. The full HD screen has a blistering 360 Hz refresh rate, and fast motion is rendered smoothly because of it. Colors may be a little washed out, but the bright screen provides excellent contrast, with details visible in both bright and dark areas. The M15 comes with adequate gaming connectivity. This includes Wi-Fi 6E and Ethernet 2.5 gigabits are supported by this laptop. There is a full-size USB 3.2 and also a Type-C 3.2 as well, with Thunderbolt and power delivery, which is located on the back. The HDMI output is also located at the rear. The right side has 2 more full-size USB ports, while the left side has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port and a audio jack. There's also a 720p webcam that supports Windows Hello login. Though I would wish Alienware would upgrade the camera to 1080p because it's subpar and not ideal for video conferencing or even streaming for that matter. The keyboard on the laptop is RGB backlit with variable brightness and has a 1.8mm key travel. Using the keyboard, it felt very comfortable and I got used to it pretty quickly. Gaming or typing, this keyboard is excellent for what it's worth. The trackpad appeared to be a little small, however, it tracked all my gestures accurately in Windows 11. Even while gaming, the WSD key region did not get too hot. This demonstrates that the fans inside the laptops are well placed to keep these keys cool. The M15 also features stereo speakers that work well for calls and occasional YouTube videos, but they lacked bass when it came to gaming. This is standard for notebooks, but there is a headset jack for those who want better audio. Now, looking at the internals, the M15 R7 can be configured with up to 4 TB of NVMe spread across 2 M.2 slots. Our review unit includes a 2 TB PCIe Gen 4 drive, which is more than enough for a few games and work-related items. But if you'd rather start with 1 or 2 TB today and add a drive once you start running out of space, the upgrade is an easy to do yourself project. Now, looking at the software, the Alien Command Center provides numerous settings for performance and power consumption and also overclocking. For our measured benchmarks, we use the default settings for the laptop itself, so basically power balanced and thermal balanced. Our test unit is outfitted with the latest Intel Core i7-12700H CPU with a max turbo frequency of 4.7 GHz, and it also has 14 cores, 6 performance cores, and 8 efficiency cores for a grand total of 20 threads. When needed, the CPU can burst up to 115 watts to provide the best performance. In PC Mark 10, that combines to a score of 7,588, which is among the highest scores in the market and is excellent and lightning fast. It also received a score of 1750 on single core and 13522 on Geekbench 5. On Cinebench R23 rendering tests, the i7 scored 15,309 points. Once again showcasing you how fast this laptop is with the newest Intel 12th gen processors. Now, we did notice some thermal throttling when we put the CPU on a stress test, and the CPU reached around 100 degrees Celsius. At those temps, it did proceed to throttle heavily, though nonetheless, in gaming, it was able to keep around 80 degrees, though if you do any more higher tasks, like rendering and stuff like that, then there is a risk of this thermal throttling, mainly because the fans can't keep up with the CPU. Now let's move on to the actual graphics. The Alienware M15 R7 is equipped with an RTX 3070 Ti GPU. This card was able to score 11,322 in 3D Mark x Spy. In Firestrike Extreme, it scored 13,356, while in Port Royale Ray Tracing, it scored around 6,824. These are excellent scores for a 3070 Ti. In Cyberpunk 2077, that means activating real-time tracing and for the ultimate realism and still averaging around 50 to 60 FPS or more. Moving on to battery life, the Alienware M15 features advanced Optimus technology, which facilitates dynamically switching between discrete and integrated GPU. This means it can jump back and forth between gaming and mobility, free from compromise. This helped a ton in the battery life. We reached around 2 to 3 hours of gaming, while 6 to 7 hours of regular web browsing with a refresh rate set at 60 Hz while non-gaming. Talking about gaming, the fan actually is very present at around 54 decibels at full speed, but it is no worse than anything else in this range. The underside of this machine, like most gaming laptop, is too hot to use on your lap, and the area just above the keyboard is a bit too hot to touch, measuring around 55 degrees Celsius. The M15 R7 is reasonably priced for a gaming laptop, particularly for an Alienware PC. The base edition of this laptop costs around $2,000 in Canada. The one you see here is nearly maxed out, and we're approaching closer to $4,000. Given that gaming laptops are not cheap, well, simply put, the higher the specifications, the more expensive the laptop will get. To summarize this review, the M15 R7 is a daring new outing for Dell's otherworldly brand, showcasing the potential of the power of the 12th gen CPUs with a spec list that makes it for a formidable gaming machine. And with that, the M15 R7 gets the most important things right, making it an excellent choice for a gaming laptop that will last you for years to come. And this brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the review, and if you haven't already, then please smash that like button for the good old YouTube algorithm. It helps us a ton and supports the channel. This is David from Real Hardware Reviews, signing out.